How in the hell are we all doing? Let's get into some chit. How's everybody doing? It's been a little while since I've been on and posted something. I've got a whole bunch of drone videos that I've been trying to get up. I did a sunset one, which was absolutely spectacular and beautiful. And I also did one of our 4th of July fireworks. I put the drone up in the air and was looking down upon the fireworks. And I saw something like that many, many years ago when I was working for Killington. My restaurant was way up at the top at the Peak Restaurant on top of the K1 gondola, if anybody's familiar with Killington. But we had Killington had a hotel open up called the Grand Hotel. And one night they were celebrating its opening and they did fireworks and we were looking down upon them at 4,000. I mean, granted, it's a New England speed bump compared to what they've got out west. But, 4,241 feet, somewhere in that ballpark. Not a big deal. So I got some of that type of stuff that I've been trying to get uploaded, but for some unknown reason I seem to be having a hard time extracting it from the SD card, and I don't know what I'm doing differently this time as opposed to the last time. This is not the reason of my video of coming on here and saying, hi again, disappeared, do what I do best. In all honesty, I want to talk about some stuff, and especially that has transpired over the last couple of weeks with certain parties. I want to talk about what it's like to be hated, to receive hate. When a lot of things transpired a long time ago, I made a grave mistake, and I should have been a man and just up and walked away. But instead I chose, hi Leo, I chose a different route, and I hurt a friend. At that time I hurt 2 friends. And it's weighed on my mind for a very, very long time that I caused 2 friends to have their differences. It was never my intention. I admit that I was wrong. I have never sat behind something and claimed that it was different. I've never done that. I'm happy that TCB was able to rekindle that friendship with him. I don't understand. Well, anyway, I'm happy for TCB. I really am. I've had to live with that for a very long time, and I'm glad that things seem to be healing themselves. It sucks having to live with hate. It sucks having to live with guilt. I have admitted that I've been wrong. I have no problem doing that. When I made that comment, it wasn't to the extent of what people have made it out to be. It was just, hey, look out for this person. And then, yes, I did go on to my Twitter and post something that was very inappropriate. But after looking into it a little bit, hold on one second. My dog's all wrapped up inside me. Hold on. Sorry about that. Where was I? Yeah, I did make a tweet that was inappropriate. It was uncalled for, and by all means disrespectful. When I went back and re-looked at the situation, I realized I made a grave mistake. That it was addressing a different person and not the person that was involved. I hurt that person, and I've been trying to seek her out so I can apologize. I took that tweet down because its only thing to do is to take it down and to apologize to this lady that I made a mistake. I asked a friend of mine to give me a hand, but they've also not been able to get in touch with this person. I don't remember her name. It was something along the lines of Brenda, Georgia Girl, or something like that. I do remember her name was Brenda. And I do want to reach out to her and apologize. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I just would like to apologize for that. I don't have a problem admitting my faults. And to apologize for things that you didn't do doesn't compute with me. That I blame my kids for something, and I don't know what in the hell I did to blame my kids on something. I know my handwriting sucks. I know that I write a book with no punctuation. It's nearly impossible to follow. But I would never in my entire life blame something on my kids. Never. If that was the case, I'd put a bullet to my freaking head and pull the trigger. If I ever did something like that. But the only thing I can think of is that when I did that video that I'm very ashamed of, I made a comment that I use a text-to-speech. You pull up your keyboard, you hit the microphone, and you talk into your phone or your tablet or whatever may have you, and it types it out for you. Me being dyslexic, and I'll go into that in a minute, has an amazing hard time trying to keep up with spelling and making corrections in the proper punctuation. So I turn to that. And if anybody has ever used it, you'll understand that if you go too quickly or too fast, it'll start to create words, create sentences as to what you think they may have said. But that's the only thing I can think of, is that maybe I sent something out that was misconstrued as that. But in my video, all I mentioned is that I use this text-to-speech so I can communicate with people, and that when my kids would come into my room, I would be typing something out, and the thing would pick it up, what I was saying. And because I was in such a rush to try to keep up with the conversation, I never proofread it. And going back and looking at it, it's like, oh my fucking God. No wonder, I'm even ashamed of it. I mean, it's sad. I never realized how gaudy it was and just impossible for you folks to read. Which is why I think I'll stick to the videos, because I can at least get my point across that way without having to worry about spelling and punctuations. But that's the only thing I can think of. And if there's something else that I did, there has to be a logical explanation for it, because I would never blame my children for anything. They they're on my tablets. They watch their YouTube through my account, because that way I can monitor it as to what they're watching. As far as I know, I don't believe they've left comments, rude comments, or anything like that. And I don't ever recall going into a stream saying that my kids did it. That whole thing with Tyndall, I full-heartedly admitted to it. That it was me trying to get his attention. I don't recall blaming my kids for that. What was the other one? Oh, the swatting. I don't know if you can consider it really a SWAT or something like that. But Vermont State Police did show up at my house, questioning me about a certain phone call that they received that I was selling child pornography. And I was investigated. And they spent 2 days talking to me, my kids, my wife. Granted, the whole thing was dropped because it was complete, utter bullshit, but I never blamed anybody. I never pointed the finger at anybody. But all you got to do is call the Vermont State Police and ask them, was Robert Olmsted ever investigated for this? I mean, if it comes to it, I can go get a letter, I guess. Get it notarized, I don't know. But because of all of this, I've received a ton of hate, and I don't see why I need to apologize for something that I don't recall doing or not doing. But to be beat up because my handwriting sucks and I'm dyslexic. If you look up a school in Litchfield, Connecticut, it's called Foreman. When I graduated from Meagerbrook in '85, I was sent there, and it was a private school for kids with learning disabilities. Now, back when I was diagnosed at a very young age of having dyslexia was not by any means explored yet. Yeah, there were a few cases and stuff like that, but nobody understood it. And it was just coming into medical practices as they had techniques to diagnose people better with it and to know where that is. And I excel in areas, but I freaking reading and writing is just by no means my forte. I Jesus Christ, I admit it. It fucking hurts. It sucks. And leaving novels and stuff like that is by no means, because people are going to get frustrated, and especially now you throw that text-to-speech thing in, Lord only knows what people are reading. And because I didn't go back and proofread. But if you don't, look it up. I graduated in '87 from there. But it's Foreman School in Litchfield, Connecticut for dyslexics or people with learning disabilities. It hurts tremendously. And I have nobody to blame but myself for it. I saw a fantastic video tonight from a gentleman in Britain about that Psycho Rob or whatever the hell his name is, the pedo and stuff like that. I totally despise that, and I remember that very clearly because that kind of touched home with me. And I made it a point to try to get that guy off of YouTube. He shouldn't be on a social platform by any means. But I remember this other guy. And this gentleman put out a tremendous video. And I can't comment on it and say, hey, holy shit, that was great, without receiving a fuck ton of hate. I want to talk to people about drones. I want to talk to people about hot rods. But I can't. Because I fuck shit up. And it's not a good feeling. It hurts to no end. This past year has been tremendously hard. I've had a tremendous support group from people from YouTube, from Twitter, from friends and family. Has been pure hell. And then you go and read about hate and drink bleach and die, you son of a bitch, get cancer, die. It hits close to home. If I can go back in time and redo something, that'd be one of them. Because it's no fun being hated. It's no fun. I don't know why, but that just totally blew my train of thought. And it's my security cameras, and there's a motion sensor on one of them, and it's right above my head. And I think it's picking up on me that I'm moving. But it sucks, and it hurts. And if I can relay something to somebody, don't. Just be yourself, and don't try to pretend to be something else. I can sit here all night long and make an hour video about everything and try to explain it. But there are certain things that it's just not worth it. I tried my best to be a friend. And I got blown away by what was being said. And I'm not going to apologize for stuff I don't think I did wrong on. If I can be proven differently, yeah, I guess I would. Because I have no problem admitting. But, anyways, I just wanted to jump up on here real quick and say congratulations to those two. I feel better that they were able to. And I'm not asking for forgiveness or looking for forgiveness or anything along those lines. I just wanted to reach out and to apologize. I wasn't looking for a reaction or anything like that. It just was something I wanted to get off my chest. And how people take it, that's their problem. But I never admitted to anything. I never said it happened. I'd be the first one to admit that I fucked up. Anyways, folks, if I think of something, I'll do another one. But I'm trying to get these drone videos up to you. They're really, really cool. I just haven't been myself lately, and the death of my sister has been heavy on my shoulders again, and I've kind of gone into hiding a little bit, avoiding people and things like that. And it's no fun when you're already down to go and read something of you're a retard and you can't spell, and I know my kids can spell better than I can. I full-heartedly admit it and agree with you. I know they can. But it's because I've got a learning disability, and I'm very sorry if people think that I lie about that too. I don't know how to prove that, other than you can tell by my spelling and punctuation that there's an issue there. What do you see, boo? What do you see? It's caught your eyeball. Now, it's freaking 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm having a hard time sleeping tonight, just not in the mood for life right now. Plus, I've been wanting to do this video. I'm just saying I'll support Scott in whatever his decisions are, and I'm not going to judge him for who he's friends with. It's his call, and I'm happy for him that he has been able to find happiness again. And I'm proud of him for what he has achieved and coming clean. But I don't know. Anyways, folks, till the next one, peace, my friends. Deuces.